What's up? It's your boy Kool Man 100X. How you guys doing? Coming to you with coming to you with a tutorial. I'm going to start doing more tutorials for you guys, more summer classes, so make sure you pay attention. It's going to be just through the summer, all the way from June to August. I'm going to start doing this like every year. Try to pump as much tutorials out, so it's like season 1 of the summer tutorials on the playlist. So make sure you pay attention to it. So what I'm going to be focusing on is probably Photoshop, After Effects, and other tutorials that come to mind, or something simple that help you guys out along the way. What we're going to be doing is a manipulation for a Nike show ad. You know how you look at the Nike shoes and you want to show the ad imitation to make your business look good, and you know how to do poster designs, layout designs, and stuff like that. What we're going to be working on here is the shoe ad for Nike, which called Nike Vision. I took a regular shoe and give it an ad space like a billboard or a wallpaper. As you can see here, the shoe is broken apart and being put together as a fade, and you can see the shadow in the plain background with a nice dark logo with the shoe is being shadowed of like it's stepping forward. So this manipulation is pretty advanced, but if you stay with the basic tutorial balance, it's very simple. You see breakdowns of just brushes, shadows, stuff like that, just regular backgrounds. Nothing more in specific that you shouldn't know. So all you need for this tutorial is a Nike shoe and a Nike logo, which I prefer to get PNG, dimensions 1004. I just like stuff big. It gives them more of a detailed type of look, as you can see here when I click in. Let's go back. You can see the shoe there, it got way more detail, and you can see it come more into effect here. So the lights and the shadow mix, the shoestrings pop, the inside of the shoe pop, the gristles at the bottom pop, and the side of the shoe pop. Gives the like a little shine to it. Also, the logo is just a free font. You can use any font you want. If you can find my fonts, you can go to my graphic store, my Selfie store, and there's a 430 brushes. Only $3. It's up to you. So that's the way if you want to get a shot of using these brushes for this tutorial. So what we're going to be doing is opening up a new file. I'm going to be referencing back and forth. You can either use the film video, which I prefer 1080p by 720p. You can leave the resolution on 72. I'm not going to be using nothing big. It's not going to be a final cut or anything. What we're going to be doing here, guys, is taking the colors that we see here for the RGB blend, and this is the regular background of it here, of the regular shoe, until we get the enhancement right. So what we want to work on first is just the ordinary shoe here, which we get the balance of taking it to the next level of breaking apart. So what you really want to focus on is the shadow here and the eclipse around it, and focus on the shoe itself of the stepping effect here to make it feel like it's pressing down, give it that realistic look. So what you want to do here, guys, is focus on just making your background any type of color that you want. I prefer, you know, the black and gray type of color. What you want to do, you can unlock your layer. What you want to go here is to your gradient tool here, and you want to go here and give these color matches if you want. It's up to you. I prefer these color matches, which is 20 20 20, and the light, which is all 0. So you can cancel that out. We already got our basic color palette there, so that's more advanced things. So this is for my advanced users and beginners. So what you want to do, you want to put it on redial, and you want to double click the layer, and you want to go to your gradient here. And you can either do this either way. You can put it in diamond form. You can do it in, you know, any form that you want. This is another way of doing it. It's going in angle, re-angle, reverse. You can do this in different type of ways, redial, stuff like that. But the gradient tool gives it a better effect. So you can just go to the gradient tool here, and you get that nice background type of look here. It's not the same color as the background, but we could just give it that dark type of look if you want. You can do this either way. That it's more simpler, it's more easier for you to make a good color background for the shoe. But if you want to make your own colors, I prefer using the layer styles. You can go to your gradient tool and double click it. You can do this in various ways. You can put it in reverse, take the angle off. I would try to read down here, put it in reverse. It's kind of tricky to mess with, but once you get the scale up a little bit, I go inward. Let me see what colors can I do with gradient. We can go just like a light grayish here, like a light gray here. And starting to get it. We want to bring the black out just a little bit. Darker. Get that. Now you can do it that way. You got the same identical color too as well, so you can do it either way. So it doesn't matter. So that's what you want your background to look like. Just for a quick reference, you can double click the flash layer, go to the gradients and the colors that I'll choose just now, which is OCE. You can just copy this down. Next color, and you can just copy this down as well. Cancel, press OK, press OK. So that's your reference background. So now that we made the background, it's looking pretty decent as well. Let me press that. It's looking pretty decent as well. So we got our main background, which is very good. So we got the same identical background, which is good. So all we need now, guys, is our shoe, which is very, very good. We got our shoe here. Alright, now we got our blue shoe here, and we can do this in multiple ways here, and we can throw it in the middle of the shoe and do it there. We can put it there. Now, make sure you always exit out the layer so you have more room. Make sure you always save your files. I call it, I guess I'm gonna call it shoe tut. Make sure you always save your file so if anything crashes, I can call it cancel, call it shoe tut 2. Alright, press OK. Now, probably gonna be a 2-part series, 3-part, whatever. I want to break it down to you as much as I can. Alright, now we got our shoe here. Now, we can do this in many different ways. I don't like my shoe going to the left. It just, I don't know, it's just my thing. But you can do it either other way you want. But what I like to do is go to transform and flip horizontal. You see? Now we got it flip horizontal. It just look more realistic. When you flip it horizontal, to me, I like working from left to right, right to left. It's like you're reading, so I don't like working from that area. So what we want to do here is just make the shoe just a little bit bigger. You want to right click, convert to smart object, and you want to Control T. Just make it just a little bit bigger. Hold your shift button as you go to the size here. Just not too big. I don't want it to be overcrowding the magazine a little bit. I'm gonna do it. Save it. Place. And you want to just cock it to the side a little bit. Just cock it up a little bit. You just want that effect. That's why it's good to have your rulers up, guys, which is Control R. Control R, you can have your rulers, and you can set it to anything you want, which is which you can set it to millimeters, anything you want. I like using on millimeters or centimeters, so it doesn't matter. Now we got our cock shoe here. You just want to cock it, place, and you're done. So we got that out the way. We got our nice shoe here. Let's see how it looks from a standpoint. All right, we got our good side shoe here. So we probably got to move it over a little bit so we can get the effect to look more realistic. So just mess with the size a little bit. Let's see what size fits you more suitably. So in my instance, I'm probably going to make the shoe a little bit smaller and break it down a little bit and move it over. So yeah, that is one way you can do it. So we probably got the same, pretty much the same size, I guess. Somewhat. We could take it out the group here, click the wrong one, step back. Alright, Now we can hold shift and bring the size down here. Somewhat there. Not too small, not too shabby, but we can work with probably this size. We just want to make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Alright, I'm very tedious, so bear with me, guys. Alright, there we go. So, we got a nice size here. We're just going to stick with this size and work from here. We're just going to work from there. So, just picking with it as you go along. So, find a size that suits you. So, what you want to work on now, guys, is your RGB, lighting, which is very good, which is your curve. So, you'll get like a curve effect like this, or a hue saturation like this. So what you want to work on is your hue saturation. You want to take down these numbers, which is negative 4.9 and plus 9. So you can do it either other way. So but we're going to get to the lighting later, but we're going to work on either the shadow of it, and we're going to work on the eclipse and the shadow. So you can do your shadows in different ways. It is up to you. Doesn't matter how you do it. But if you want a realistic shadow, I would go to the pen tool. You want to go to the pen tool, and you want to go to shape. You want to put it on around 3 or 2 meters, and you can take the cap off here. And you want to zoom in as much as you can. Zoom in. Here, make a new layer. It's gonna make a new layer for you when you put it on shape. I'm sorry. You want to zoom in, and you want to, just like I said, you probably want to play with your shoe a little bit. If it's too high, if it's too low, you can cock it lower, cock it higher to give that effect a little bit more duo. Because you can see the shoe is cocked up a little higher, or a little too low. So it doesn't matter how you do it. So you can, all you want to do here is you want to click the beginning of the shoe, just make a shape here. Oh, make sure you delete there. Click delete too far. You want to make sure it's on shape. Sometimes it switches off in Photoshop. Why, I don't know. So just want to make you a shape here. Okay. And you want to put it under your shoe layer, so that's what it would pretty much look like. So, yeah. So you just want that shoe layer there. You can either do it that way, or you can do it a cut way. So let's say if you want to take the shoe under it, you want to take it under the shoe, which is hell way better. You just want to cut it here. You don't want to go too far, so the shadow is going to be more transparent. So we just want to go here on the shoe. Okay, so that's the kind of shadow we want, but we can stretch it out. You gotta play with it a little bit to get the shadow that you want to look more realistic and stuff like that. So you can go back a little bit. Just step back a little bit. Keep it right there. And delete. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we got our good shoe. That's the shadow we want, so that's what we want. Alright, so now that we got our shadow as well, we can convert to a rasterized layer. Now, we can move this as much as you want. You can put it under the shoe, over the shoe, doesn't matter. What I like to do is cock the shoe a little bit higher. Just a little bit, because it's not cocked high enough. How about right there? And you can take the shadow here. and just move it down a little bit. Move it down, just right there. Alright, and you want to press apply. And you want to take either, you want to go to your filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and you just want to take the shadow here. Let me see how it looks when it's fully Gaussian. And bring it down. Again. You want to just go in directly under the shoe. About right there. About 27.8, I guess. You just want to move her shadow right there. Okay. And we can just back our zoom out a little bit. And you have that somewhat realistic shadow. You know, you got it. And you want to go to your filter again. You can go to noise, add noise, and you just want to put the amount on, bring it down. I want to put it on Gaussian though. Uniform. Get down the amount, about 2.5, I guess. 2.5. So, it looks too dusty, sorry. I'm trying to get that floor shadow type of look, so that'd be a good shadow for you to go to. So we go to floor, let me go there one more time. Add noise. You just bring it down to about 3.8. 0.10 is good. Press OK. Now you got your shoe here with the cocked up shadow. It looks more cleaner and durable. So what you can do to make the shadow look more, take your eraser tool. Press left bracket to bring down the size here. Control H to take the rulers away. Shortcuts for my advanced users. You feel as though the shadow is being stretched too far out of the shoe. You can just erase just a little bit of the shadow and just straighten it up here. Let me go back, press the wrong layer. Okay, this is our layer. So now we got the shadow here. And you can Control H, stretch it, also apply. Alright, so I look like a realistic shadow there. So now that we got the shadow out the way, we want to bring our shoe more to life with the dark type of shadow here in front of the shoe here. As you can see, like the shoe shadow here, when it's looking like it's pressing down a little bit, all you want to do is make a layer on top of the shoe. Make a layer on top of the shoe here. Go back to our tag. You want to make another layer on top of the shoe, and you want to hold Alt on your keyboard, and you'll see that box pop up on your screen. You just want to click it, and it will connect to the layer. And you want to go to your brush, just a regular brush, leaving about hardness about I think 3. You want to zoom in as much as you can. And you just want to darken the beginning of the shoe here where the shadow is being shown. Just want to darken it. My flow is up so you can see it here. Oh, wait a minute, guys. Let me go back. I gotta connect it to the wrong layer. Okay. I will go on above that one and press Alt. Bam. So there we go. You can see there. So we got to bring down our hardness to 0 there, and open up our brush just a little bit more. And you just want to darken. You just want to darken the front of it. darken it. And just bring down the opacity, just about right there. And I'll pass it about 85. 82, 85. You can see the shoe is being pressed. You can see, like, you know, when it look like it's painted on there. So a little bit more. So go to your eraser tool and just erase some of it if it's too much. So more. Alright, so go to your shadow and erase the front shadow just a little bit. There you go. So it looks good. We got a realistic shoe. It looks more like this one. You see the dark shadows more lighter over here, so we made it more of a push, so we can bring down the opacity if you want. If you feel that was too much, so we can bring it down like about 55. Let's see what else we got to do, guys. We did the shadow. Next we're going to be doing is the eclipse, which is very simple to do. The eclipse is very easy, I can say, but we go to our shoe and we want to go to our circle. Make sure it's on eclipse, and you want to change your foreground color to either white, or just switch the arrows there. As you can see, press cancel. Switch the arrows to your foreground to be white color to fill in. So all you want to do is make a new layer, and you want to have your foreground go over the shoe as you want. You just want to go over the shoe for your eclipse, and we can probably go to eclipse to a polygon here. So after you've done that, you can press Alt or your Control key. Bring it down a little bit. Bring this down. Bring it down for your Alt key. Bring it down so make the circle around the shoe. So we just want to stretch it out a little bit around the shoe. Press Apply. Bring it under the shoe so it looks like that. Press Control and stretch it out. You don't want to go past the grid line, so you want to stretch it out about right there. That'll be perfect. So it'll just go right past the shadow. So past the shadow. Now for the eclipse, you can either change the overlay, which is going to be overlay, and you can bring down opacity like about 65, I guess. 65. Okay, that's what I had it on around that. Yeah, about 42. It was lower than 65, so about 40. I'll say 43. So you can press our eclipse. You can put in on rasterized layer so you can get rid of the grid marks. Alright, so you can bring the opacity down just a little bit more. Now for the circle, you can do the same thing as you did with the shadow here. You can go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and you can just bring the opacity down. But you still want the circle, but you want it to spread a little bit. And press OK. You can still see it, but you can't. But you can still see it. Bring opacity. Bring opacity up, you can see the circle. I bring it down. You can't see it as much. Now, what you can do to make it more realistic, you can just up your brush, your eraser tool, and just erase some of the circle here, so you won't really see it as much. It's like the front of the shoe, you don't really need it there, but the back of the shoe you do. So you can just give it a little whirl if you want. So yeah. So the shadow, you can bring down opacity if you want, and stretch the shadow out to the length of the shoe, so it'll match the length of the shoe there. Press Apply. So we got our realistic shoe here for the beginning. So it looks very clean. We got our background shadow, we got our sides there, we got our push there. So this is really good, guys. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of the shoe ad tutorial of Nike, and part 2 will be coming soon. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial for the manipulation, and thanks for coming, guys. Check you out on part 2. Deuces.